Have you ever felt like the universe was conspiring against your happiness, only to suddenly shift everything in your favor when you least expected it? That's exactly what happened to me. I'm Jack, and 6 months ago, I was a struggling single dad who couldn't even get a second date. Now, well, let me tell you how my life completely transformed. It was a Tuesday morning when I dragged myself into the office, running on 3 hours of sleep after my son Tyler had a nightmare. The rejection text from Vanessa was still burning in my phone. "You're great, but I'm not looking to date someone with baggage. Baggage. That's what my beautiful 7-year-old son had been reduced to. I tucked my phone away, trying to focus on the marketing presentation due that afternoon, when Emma from accounting dropped a coffee on my desk. "You look like you could use this more than me," she said with that smile that always seemed to light up our dreary office. Little did I know that coffee would change everything. But before I tell you what happened next, I should explain how I ended up a single dad in the first place. My wife passed away when Tyler was just 3, leaving me to navigate parenthood alone while trying to keep our world from falling apart. Dating. That was the last thing on my mind until recently, when Tyler started asking why other kids had 2 parents and he only had 1. The dating scene for single parents is brutal. 5 first dates in 2 months, and each one ended the same way once they learned about Tyler. Too much responsibility. Not ready for kids. Looking for something casual. I was beginning to think I'd be alone forever. Back to that Tuesday. Emma had been working at the company for about 8 months. We'd collaborated on projects occasionally, shared lunch breaks with the team, but nothing beyond friendly coworker banter. She was brilliant, beautiful, and way out of my league, or so I thought. "How was your date last night?" she asked, perching on the edge of my desk. News traveled fast in our office. I sighed. "Let's just say there won't be a second one." Something flashed across her face. Was that relief? "Her loss," Emma said simply, then hesitated like she wanted to say more before our boss called her away. That afternoon, my presentation bombed. I couldn't focus, fumbled through slides, and practically felt my promotion chances slipping away with each awkward pause. When it was finally over, I escaped to the break room, leaning against the counter with my eyes closed, wondering how much worse this day could get. It wasn't that bad. Emma's voice startled me. She was leaning against the doorframe, arms crossed. "You don't have to lie. It was a disaster." "Maybe," she laughed, "but disasters can lead to beautiful things." There was something in her voice that made me look at her, really look at her for the first time. The way she tucked her blonde hair behind her ear, how her blue eyes seemed to see right through me. "Jack," she said, suddenly serious, "would you like to have dinner with me Friday night?" I nearly choked. "Like a work dinner?" She stepped closer. "No. Like a date. But you know I have a son, right?" The words tumbled out before I could stop them. Her expression softened. "Of course I know about Tyler. You talk about him all the time. It's actually one of the things I admire most about you." I stood there, speechless. Was this really happening? If you're watching this and have ever had that moment where life suddenly shifts beneath your feet, drop a comment below and tell me about it. Those moments change everything, don't they? But here's where it gets complicated. The next morning, my ex-mother-in-law called. She'd been helping with Tyler since my wife died, but now she was moving across the country to be closer to her other daughter. I was about to lose my only reliable childcare, with a potential date with the most amazing woman and a job that already demanded too much. When I told Emma I might need to cancel our date, her response floored me. "What if I come over instead? I can bring dinner, and we can hang out with Tyler too. You want to spend our first date with my kid." She smiled that smile again. "I want to spend time with you, Jack." Tyler's part of your life, so he's part of the package. Friday night arrived, and I was a nervous wreck. Tyler was bouncing off the walls excited about Daddy's friend coming over. Emma arrived with homemade pizza dough and toppings, so we could all make dinner together. Within minutes, she had Tyler laughing as they created ridiculous pizza faces. Watching them, something cracked open inside me, hope, maybe, or fear. Because what if this was temporary? What if she realized how complicated my life was and disappeared? After Tyler went to bed, Emma and I sat on the couch with glasses of wine. Why me? I finally asked. You could date anyone. Why choose a guy with all this complexity? She was quiet for a moment. My dad left when I was 6, she finally said. My mom dated, but she always chose men who wanted her to pretend I didn't exist. I spent most of my childhood feeling like an inconvenience. She looked at me intently. The way you love your son, how you've built your life around him without resentment, that's rare, Jack, and incredibly attractive. 2 weeks and 3 dates later, we were having lunch in the office courtyard when our coworker Ryan stopped by. You two are spending a lot of time together, he commented with a knowing smirk. Before I could respond, Emma reached across the table, took my hand, and asked, Jack, will you be my boyfriend? Officially, the entire courtyard went silent. My heart pounded. This incredible woman wanted to claim me us, publicly, baggage and all. Yes, I said, not caring who heard. She leaned across the table and kissed me, right there in front of everyone. If this story is touching your heart, hit that like button. Sometimes love finds us in the most unexpected places, doesn't it? But our story wasn't all smooth sailing. 3 months in, Tyler had a meltdown. You're trying to replace Mom, he screamed at Emma during what was supposed to be a fun movie night. I watched her face crumple, saw the tears she tried to hide, and felt my world tilting again. Later, after Tyler was asleep, I found Emma on the porch swing. I understand if this is too much, I said quietly, preparing for another goodbye. She wiped her eyes. Do you know what scares me, Jack? Not Tyler's feelings. Those are valid, and we'll work through them. What scares me is how much I love you both already. I never planned this. I never expected to become so attached so quickly. Is that a bad thing? I asked, heart in my throat. It's terrifying, she whispered. Because I can see our whole future, and if I lose it. She didn't finish the sentence. I took her hand. We're terrified together, then. The next weekend, Emma suggested we visit the Children's Museum where my late wife used to take Tyler. I was hesitant. We hadn't been there since she passed, but Emma insisted it might help. At the museum, Tyler ran ahead to his favorite exhibits while Emma and I followed. I'm not trying to replace her, Emma said softly. I would never want to erase her memory. I know that, but I do want to build something new with you both. Something that honors what came before while creating space for what could be. In the planetarium, Tyler sat between us as stars swirled overhead. Suddenly, he reached out, taking both our hands in the darkness. Mom used to say the stars are windows where angels look through, he whispered. Do you think she can see us? Emma squeezed his small hand. I think she can, and I think she'd be so proud of you. Tyler looked up at her, really looked at her, for the first time without anger or suspicion. Would you tell me stories about your mom sometime? Dad says everyone needs to remember the people they love. Emma's eyes met mine over Tyler's head, filled with tears and something like wonder. I'd love that, buddy. 6 months after that first coffee, here we are. Last week, I took Emma back to that same break room where she'd asked me out. I got down on one knee and asked her to be part of our family forever. Tyler stood beside me, holding the ring box we'd picked out together. She said yes. Life doesn't always give us what we expect. Sometimes it gives us something better. If you're watching this and waiting for your own unexpected turn of events, don't give up. Your Emma might be just around the corner. I'd love to know where you're watching from. Drop your country in the comments! And if our story touched you, consider subscribing for more real life journeys like ours. Every like and share helps others find hope when they need it most. This isn't just my happy ending. It's the beginning of our story, Tyler's, Emma's, and mine. A story that started with rejection, but led to the family we were meant to find all along.